Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. We're on season 6, episode 13. Andy, tonight's the sports edition.
Yes.
Happy Groundhog's Day. Today's the third. Groundhog's Day was yesterday. How was the holiday and the ladies' birthday?
Lisa for the commissary, it was her birthday. Yeah. It was my oldest son's birthday that same day. So it was great. I spent tons of money that day I didn't have.
Yes. Oh, perfect. So,
but I get all done on one day, then now it's done.
Well, we're getting into February, Andy. College football's done. Pro football, Super Bowl is Sunday. Like we said earlier, we're not going to cover the Pro Bowl. We're not going to even mention it, right?
The what?
So what do we had this weekend? College football, bowl games are done. What they do to end the season is the All-Star game, the East-West Shrine game, the Senior Bowl they hold for seniors
North,
only, like the All-Star. NFL scouts going to take a look at the seniors one last time, and it's probably not a good idea to opt out of that game, right? If people are wanting to look at it, now you want to go back and you don't want to opt out, but in the playoffs, they're so busy opting out. But whatever. We got a trivia question tonight. It relates to the East-West Shrine game.
Fire away.
Yesterday's game, Andy, was the 100th anniversary year of this game. So it's East All-Stars against the West All-Stars. Something happened in this game. It ended as a shutout, 25-0. And the East won 25-0. And so it was a shutout. The trivia question is, it's been a long time since the East-West Shrine game ended in a shutout. And so the question is, when was the last time a team got blanked in the East-West Shrine game? We'll get to the answer at the end of the episode.
All right, here we go. Here's my 5 cents worth today.
Yes.
A few different things. Let's start on the soapbox, just to kick it off.
Oh, perfect.
Gonna get this part of the season done right here.
Uh-oh.
Pete.
Polar bear.
The polar bear wants to come to New York so bad.
Okay.
Here's my soapbox. Pete, buddy, I love you. You know, we tight. I thought we tight. Anyway, you know, you don't return my calls anymore, Pete. But before he became this year, he changed agents.
Okay.
What's his name? Scott.
Boris.
Boris. Yeah, went with him. No one's going to pay that money. So Pete's even said, I want to go to New York. He'll take whatever. And he's even said he's firing this agent once this is done. But no one's dealing with this agent. Now, Pete's not a clubhouse cancer. He's not a jerk. But you know what? He's not 40, 50 million a year player either. I love you, Pete. 45 home runs, 120 RBIs, and a 230 batting average doesn't do it anymore. You're average at best in the field. You strike out too much. You know, you're sorry, buddy. You're not going to get the big cake. You thought you could with the right agent, and you're not.
What do you think he'll get? What's he worth?
15 a year.
Okay, that's fair.
I was going to say this when I was talking to Pastor today, but Pastor's much younger and wouldn't know the name I threw out. Alonso's kind of a Jack Clark, Rob Deere type.
Okay.
He's going to get the home runs. He's going to get the RBIs. He's not going to get you a sac fly. He's not going to get you a base hit. He's going to K. He'll get you, at best, a handful of stolen bases. And that's just because someone screwed up on the hit and run and the catcher wasn't paying attention. You know, but being a good clubhouse guy isn't worth that much. Not worth an extra $10 million a year. Take the 12 to 15 and be happy. Before you get low, you're not going to sell that many extra jerseys wherever you go either, Pete. You're not that personality. You're not that guy. You're going to be 4th or 5th best with the Mets if you re-sign there for popularity. So, I mean, you don't deserve 25, 30 million a year like you're asking. Sorry. So just swallow the pride and sign somewhere.
That makes
Major League Baseball lost.
And maybe it's a reality check.
Yeah. Faye Vincent passed away this week. Former Major League Baseball commissioner. This one hit me kind of weird because I hate to be a dick, but I thought he'd already died. I think I got him and Bart Giamatti mixed up on who was still alive, who was dead.
Too soon.
Yeah, I thought he would pass. Giamatti, I got them mixed up. So
okay.
Faye Vincent passed away, former Major League Baseball commissioner. Condolences to the Vincent family. All right, I saw this today on a Twins site, and this is kind of a soapbox too. I'm not a fan of these hometown sites. Even the Mets sites I follow bother me because they get too homerish. But they're just too silly. They don't know. This is like one of those memes, Dan. Look at this and tell me what's wrong.
Now, when you're done, I do have a comment because I did see this today.
Okay,
so
now
go ahead. Finish up.
I'm a math major, if you didn't know that. When you're 81 and 81, that's a 500 winning percentage, not a 501 winning percentage. When you see stuff like that, how can you trust anything they're going to put on there? This Twins Daily stuff puts this crap out all the time. Their numbers aren't even close. They got, the Twins are the greatest thing since, the 27 Yankees, and oh my God, this and that, and to you guys.
So Twins Daily, I agree. This is their graphic. This isn't their stat, but their graphic. The real article that came out from Pacoda Standings from Baseball Prospects today did announce this article. And so it looks like Twins Daily then made their own graphic, and it was out a decimal place. And so I think Kansas City was 80.5 versus 79.5 or something. So they crunched it in, which is fine. We don't need the decimals, but then you have to account for the winning percentage. Either leave it out or you have or correct that as well. You can't do this. That's the first thing you look at is who is 81 and 81. Your eye goes to 501. It can't be right. But this, as much as I don't like Twins Daily, they're very. It's an anti-Twins website. Is really.
I almost look at it just for the humor. It's almost like it's a Mad Magazine type thing. Like, this is not real. This is got to be.
It is. So this article, which I was thinking of even actually posting this today because it was one of the most realistic things that I saw from the off season for the AL Central.
It is on our Facebook page.
It said it is out there.
Yep, on our Facebook page.
Okay. So Kansas City talked about Cleveland not coming back to do well, but they'll be right at 500 along with Kansas City. Detroit's going to have the biggest payroll of all, but they're going to be down. Chicago better than last year, but way down again. And the Twins, without making many moves, the roster is what I call solid enough that there shouldn't unless there's injuries, they should be back to winning the division. And so I at least agreed with the Pacoda standing. It's a sabermetrics thing.
Right.
So I don't think they're picking numbers out of the dark. But I thought it was very interesting. Now, Twins Daily took their graphic staff and put this together, and it's just a goofy looking thing.
Makes you look bad.
I like the article, but this graphic is this is a bunch of young guys.
And I don't see Cleveland fall off that bad. I don't see Cleveland falling that bad. Sorry.
Yeah, so it is an interesting thing. I did see today somewhere that Detroit's got the biggest or the largest payroll in the American League, maybe. Not the largest of all of Major League Baseball, but the American League or maybe the AL Central. They have the largest payroll. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they still got the Javi Baez contract, so.
But yes, we could make the Hams bet already now because I will make that bet. Twins will win the division. That we can make already now if you like.
I don't know yet. No,
we can hold off, but that's the only thing I agree on, and that's not even being from a homer. Covering the stats and the roster and the salaries and stuff. They should do just fine this season.
Daskell Cato's going to have the All-Star game this year between the
DC.
Pro River League. So there you go. Get a little
I like it.
tall ball stuff in there for you.
That's a nice looking logo. It's sharp.
Yep.
Love it.
All right. You posted this today.
Yes.
If you want to follow on it.
Yeah. So Mr. Duane Gaulke, him and his brother Dave, they co-founded the Minnesota Senior Men's Baseball League, which was an over 35 thing that had never been done anywhere in any state. And he proposed it for the state of Minnesota. And they worked on it in 1979, 1978 and 79. 1980 was the very first year of running this. They only had 4 teams in the whole state, and it was called Senior Men's Baseball. people laughed at it. They thought it was a laughing stock. It wasn't taken that seriously. He started it. My dad was on the founding team there for Jordan. They were called the Ailers. And so me and my brother did a lot of scorebook, running the scoreboard and doing MC and announcing, public address announcing on the speakers and stuff for these games. Not many people came. But for where this is right now, Andy, a big portion of our YouTube and Twitter during the summer is spent between amateur town ball baseball, which is the real deal, right? The real deal. And senior over 35. Every state, I think, now has a league. Minnesota has 75, 80 teams that are over 35. It's a big spectacle, and it's one of the most competitive things that there are in the state of Minnesota for baseball, because a lot of town ball guys that are still in their prime are jumping over to play. So the MSMABA co-founder, which is the Minnesota Senior Men's Amateur Baseball Association, Duane Gaulke, died. And so that was a post for him. He's from Jordan, Minnesota, I think, now living in South Dakota before his death, but faced a lot of backlash. People said that this is not going to work. What are you doing? Where are you going to get the funding? How is all this going to play out? And now look at the success that it is. That Roy Hobbs tournament every year down in Florida is a 35 and over tournament that has added 4 or 5 levels and divisions and everything else based on this.
That's a national thing, yeah.
So it's a national thing. So all over the globe, over 35 baseball is a popular thing. And right here, once again, founded in the Twin Cities. Dave was from Bloomington. Duane was from Jordan. They were brothers. And they said, let's get this thing together. So the teams were Jordan, Prairie Lake, Savage, and Bloomington. Those are the 4 teams in the state of Minnesota. They each played each other 5-6 times. They had a tournament, and that was the season. That was really it. And then it kept growing and growing and growing. The biggest league now in the state of Minnesota is called the Federal League. And that has nothing to do with this league here, but they got the inspiration from there. So Gaulke's been a pioneer trailblazer, sort of sorts.
Jordan, Prairie Lake, and Savage, you said, were 3 of the teams?
Savage, Prairie Lake, Jordan, and Bloomington were the only 4 teams, the first 4 teams in the history of the United States.
And 3 of the 4 right there next to each other. So
yes, that's traveling
right there.
The road trips were short. There was but anyway, it was called Old Time Men's Senior Baseball. Now it's a huge deal with state tournaments, World Series, everything else.
All right. The rings came out for the Waconia Lakers. We don't like to brag, but they did win because of us. They were still middle of the pack, had a couple guys on the show, and they took off. So, like it says there, they put the season to bed because the last thing after doing all the banquets and all the pictures and the programs and things, they finally got the rings. Rings came in. This was posted. I saw this morning, Andy, and I made the post. So I think they gave them out. It says Saturday night was their delivery of the rings, and it says Lakers on the side there, 2024 W on the front. That's the logo. This is it, boys. This is Class C amateur town ball baseball. This is why this state. There's nothing like it. Look at the ring options you get for winning town ball. That's why we cover a lot. Now, the Padres and the Dodgers, they don't like each other. And here's some of the promotions for a 3-game series where the Padres are in LA this year. June 16th is Blake Snell bobblehead night. Then they get the World Series Replica Trophy the next night and World Series Gold Player jerseys the next night. So there you go. This is just right in your face, Andy. What a coincidence. It's when the Padres, your rival teams in town. What a coincidence. Yeah, that's right in your face. Yeah. But that's fun. That's good stuff there. I like that. All right, I saw this today. Pat Holberg, Major League Baseball umpire, fired for sharing his betting accounts with a friend who bet on baseball through them. There was no evidence that the umpire himself did bet on the games or manipulated the games. The fact that the account was under his name, his friend was placing bets, he got canned. Guilt by association. It's almost a soapbox, Andy. This could be. Well, it is. 2 points. Like, don't be stupid. Dude, oh, wow. You're a Major League Baseball umpire. They know more about you than you know.
Yeah, and if
So you're gonna have a betting thing and let your buddy use your account. If I was a Major League Baseball umpire, I wouldn't let somebody use my parking spot at the ball game. Okay, just no.
now, and his account, it did say the account was in his name. Does that mean that his user account profile was his name, or was
Yeah,
it
it'd be like
baseball fan 35 or something?
you had your online betting account.
Okay.
Dan at Sports and Songs at I have a gambling problem.com. And you're umping the over 35 league. And I want to place a bet. And you say, no, don't start an account, use mine. And I place a bet on a game you're umping. Of course, you're going to get in trouble for that.
Yeah. So once again, do you need to share? Can you have an account? Sure. I don't have a problem with the account. If you're a baseball umpire, it's going to be sketchy. Hopefully, you're betting on football, college basketball,
Football,
like
horse
that.
racing, NASCAR, something.
That's fine. But if you're crossing over to sports and you're giving it to someone now who's using it on baseball, I'm not surprised that he's canned. These are common sense things, but
gotta learn the hard way, son. All right, you've heard of the curse of the Bambino, or there was a Cub curse for a while in baseball where no team won a World Series with 3 or more ex-Cubs on their team. Well, there's one in football. No team has ever won a Super Bowl the same year they lost to a Kirk Cousins as a starter in a game.
Oh no! Is this
Atlanta beat Philadelphia this year?
This was done. This was put together like this. Okay. They looked at all the games that he quarterbacked against them as a starting quarterback.
Every team he's beat during the season, that team's never won a Super Bowl that season.
Wow. So for the odds plays Vegas guys out there, now you can make your bet for the Chiefs.
Just saying.
Based on this. Love it. There's too many stats out there, Andy.
Yep. Speaking of, here's more.
Okay.
Warren Moon was asked, do you think Eli should be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Well, kind of similar numbers. Eli was a 500 quarterback. Moon was 1 game over. But Eli does have the 2 rings. He never got Offensive Player of the Year. He only made half the Pro Bowls that Warren Moon did. Plus, Moon played how many years in Canada, too, throwing. So let's combine those yards in there. I love Eli. I think he's a good player. Got 2 rings, beat the Patriots on the perfect season. I love it. Eli, you're not a Hall of Famer. You're going to get the gold jacket because of your name on the back of your jersey, not the front.
I agree. I hope it's not a first. If he gets in second, third year in on the ballot, I'm not going to like it. But if he gets in the first, he's
getting the first one because of the media and the commercials and his brother and his name.
I'm not going to like that. Eli Manning.
Gray Zabel of the Bison to NFL Network on shifting positions at the Senior Bowl.
Oh.
I kind of like fall back on the fundamentals because offensive linemen are always shifting around. Even pro college, you get the Senior Bowl. If you're a left guard all the time, you got to play right guard in Senior Bowl. He says, I kind of like to fall back on the fundamentals and techniques. You play offensive line at the end of the day. It ain't a position, and you don't sign up to play one spot. You sign up to play offensive line. So how many teams do you hear these guys are jumping around all year long? Oh, and now you're the third string center. Go start snapping the ball too, So the O-line guys, I got so much respect for because they got to know so much more of what's going on.
Yeah, and those positions are swappable to some extent, but they are also to some extent very different. The guard, centers, and tackles are very different, but you're doing the same thing. But the blocking, all those schemes, that's not an easy task to jump over. Those guys that can do that in the pros, I love it. I like seeing those guys. It's underrated, right?
Former Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer will not return to the Cowboys as their defensive coordinator and is likely to retire per the NFL. I hear he's got engaged to someone who's about the age of my daughter.
Well, and that may have something to do with it.
Now, but here's my thing, Dan. Here's what I'm bringing up. I know they start pretty soon, but think he might be on the pregame show for the UFL or something like that. Can he really get away from football?
Zimmer, I would say if he does retire, he could probably do it for a year, but I think he'd be back in some capacity somewhere, and probably, I don't know. Maybe
he was a better coordinator than coach, therefore I think he'd be a good analyst somewhere. But
that's a good point. I think he's a football guy enough that if he does retire, he'll be back sooner or later, back in some capacity.
And we're all about transitioning our stories, so let's stay with the UFL. Why would you watch the UFL? 1, they don't have Taylor Swift.
Okay.
2, 0 games are locked behind streaming services.
Okay.
Coaches can challenge anything. The head of the officiating can review any call or no call. You can measure first down yardage with using TrueLine technology.
This is what you said.
Yeah. They must listen to the show.
They have to.
Tickets are $20 a person, and the season starts in 2 months. Just saying.
So, we're gonna cover this like we did in the and it is kind of fun to watch because you hear the NFL season. The NFL season goes long, right? It gets drawn out, and most of the complaining are due to officiating and penalties and things like that, things of that nature. And so you're not going to see that in NFL. You're going to see what I call just true people for the love of the game are going to be watching the UFL, who love football.
And also, how many guys did you hear, especially kickers this year? Oh, he came from the UFL. He came from the... So these are names you're going to hear next year. Not a lot of them, but some of these names you're going to hear next year. So,
yeah, once again, for the new listeners, you can call it the minor leagues. The top players of this league you're going to hear in discussion with the NFL. There is no minor league. It's
and kind of the USFL or the XFL, as much as the NFL don't want to admit it, these leagues try this stuff and go, that's quirky. That ain't going to work. Funny, NFL does it a couple years later.
Well, you do see a lot of these things that are popular in the NFL now, and they're taking credit for how great their broadcasting is. We can all say we've seen this several years ago in the UFL or the USFL. This stuff's been around, and so
NASCAR started. They had the Clash.
Yes,
Chase Elliott won the Clash. So a couple weeks from now, we'll have the Daytona 500. We will be your Carver County leader for NASCAR racing right here on Sports and Songs.
We'll cover a lot of it, yes.
Ovechkin's getting closer, 18 goals away from catching the great one for total goals. So the watch is on. So it's going to be tight if he gets it this year or not. Don't know. Do have some special guests lined up for when he does break the record. So keep watching for Ovi to see how he does here.
Okay.
All right. Royal Rumble was last night. There's a couple of things I want to bring up on it here. A couple points I want to make. Had this stat up. Penta, most time spent. He spent 42 minutes and 5 seconds for the men. Most time spent. New guy in. They want to showcase him, so they had him in there for a while. Ludwig Krauser, he was only in there 6 seconds in the Battle Royal. But Dan, it's okay. His girlfriend is Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, it is? So
she gets to be world champion. You're in for 6 seconds. That's how it works in wrestling when you're dating.
I didn't know that. It's Tiffy time.
He had a little Tiffy time in 6 seconds of Tiffy time.
Okay.
No, 6 seconds in the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
Now, and then there's your most eliminations by Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu. Now, Penta was in there for 42 minutes and 5 seconds. He was one of the first 2 guys in. Now, the rule of the Battle Royal or the Royal Rumble, you touch the ground over the top rope, you're out.
Okay.
Kind of like he did here in the first few seconds of the match. But he stayed in for another 42 minutes. Because he screwed up.
Okay.
And so wrestling's not fixed, people. There's an understanding. Big difference. The NFL is fixed. Like I've said before, there's only 2 real true sports left, and that's pro wrestling and roller derby. The rest are all fixed.
Nice.
Nashville put a bid in for the WNBA to have a team. Of course, a lot of people who like to have their names mentioned in public are buying it. Candace Parker, Peyton Manning, Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. They're going to name it the Tennessee Summit after former Tennessee Lady Vols coach Pat Summit.
Nice.
Now, Tennessee would be the second team being the WNBA without an NBA franchise in front of them. So, and the other one would be who, Dan? Yes, that's right. The Connecticut Sun. Way to go.
The Connecticut Sun
is the other WNBA team without an NBA team in its city.
Okay.
Joel Embiid.
Okay, good. Got it.
He's played 446 games, missed 400 of them, making $266 million over that span.
Oh.
This is where I got a problem. They signed these kids, these 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds out of high school, college, these big contracts, and the Sixers are eating every dollar. And all these people still get their, oh, that's Joel Embiid. He's cool. I got his shirt because he makes a lot of money. He's great. No, he's not. He's hurt all the time.
Wow.
80s stat of the week. Baseball stat of the week. 1984 Tigers. No one scored or drove in 100 runs. No one reached 175 hits. No one won 20 games. No pitcher recorded 150 strikeouts. There were 104 and 58, 7-1 the postseason. They were your world champions.
Well, like you say,
that's a team. That is a team right there.
That group, I remember.
Yep.
When they started that season.
Jack Morris. They traded for Doyle Alexander that year.
And they had the chemistry. They had the right mix. They didn't get hit with the injury bug. And look at those numbers.
Sparky Anderson. That's all I got to say. Good coaching.
Smoking in the dugout.
That is a team right there that does it. 104 wins, 7-1 the postseason. You talk about your unbreakable stats. You'll never see this on a team again and have them make the playoffs.
Wow. That's
I bet you even the White Sox had someone reach one of these marks last year. Guarantee it.
Yes. That's good. Good stuff.
With all the political talk, we don't get into politics here, but someone kind of put a little rib out here. Some Canadian. To our American neighbors, 25% tariff on the Stanley Cup if you want to borrow it and bring it down again next year. Sorry, we don't make the rules.
Ooh,
then one American replied back, "We've won it every year since '93. We ain't borrowing it, baby. It's ours now."
Oh, it makes for good social media, right?
Yeah, well, it makes for good ribbon. Hey, that's a Canadian sport, and you're borrowing it, 25% tariff. And I get it, having a little ribbon. Someone else ribbed them back. Your country hasn't won it since '93, so whose is it now? Your college football champions, they always say the South and the Southeast is the big time college football. Here's where your 5 football division champions all came from. Ohio State, North Dakota State, Ferris State, North Central, and Grandview were all in Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, Ohio, and North Dakota.
Great stat. Great picture, I should say. They're good.
Take that Southeast Conference and Southeast U.S. and Texas and California, whatever.
Yeah, keep that screenshot. That's a good one.
And then one more thing. Brainerd's going to host the 2027 Hockey Day in Minnesota. So there we go.
I like it. So this is gaining traction. It was in Shakopee. They've had it Minnetonka. This is all outdoor hockey now, right?
Yep. Okay. Yep. Now they always have the Wild play the last game, and that's always at the X. They don't have that one outdoor.
The regular indoor, so don't confuse it with the NHL, the classic, the outdoor classic, whatever they call that. But
yeah. So they usually get high school and college games mixed in on the outdoor ones. So that's what I got, man.
So the last 2 things is, speaking of NHL, I think they wrap up this week. But instead of the All-Star break, they've got this break, but there's no All-Star game this year. They're doing that other thing.
The 4-country tournament, yeah. Kind of a little mini Olympics.
4-country tournament. So they will have off. There will be a break. And also in the NFL, we got the Super Bowl coming up this Sunday. The MVP award, Saquon Barkley won the MVP.
Okay. Now, there was a lot of trades this week in the WNBA. Just go to their site, and you'll see all those trades. We'll have over 3-team trades, draft picks involved, stuff we're still getting used to.
And you've mentioned that, Andy, last show or last two shows, that you're very interested in watching for the draft this year, because this is going to be a lot of changes are taking place, a lot of mixing around of the draft picks. The new team is involved, and it should be interesting.
Yeah, new team involved, a lot of teams trading draft picks. A lot of players traded, see their chemistry. One thing yesterday, in Iowa, they retired Caitlin Clark's jersey, put it up in the rafters. This is classy right here. They played USC, played SC,
Yep.
and they had the ceremony after the game. The SC players stayed on the bench to watch the ceremony. So I think it was neat because Caitlin's only 1 year removed. It's not like she played here 8 years ago and they don't know who she is.
It wasn't like you had to wait 5 years and get her to retire.
It was the next year.
So the very next
girls
year.
Knew who she was. Here you go.
Big deal. That is huge. Now we got something local here I'm going to mention.
Yes.
On March 1st, Dahlgren Golf Course, there is going to be this year, every year they do this Chaska local snowmobiling group, Chaska Sno-Hawks, does a benefit. This year it's for Harper Snetting. And so they pick a family out that's going through a hardship, cancer, something like that. They pick a family who's got a hardship, and they do this chili, all-you-can-eat chili cook-off deal, chili feed. And the donations they get in for this snowmobile group, it's not a portion that goes to the family. It's every penny. So it's a little different. I participated in this a couple times, working the volunteer line here for the chili feed, but they give this is not a fundraiser for their group. Now there's no snow, so you may laugh if you want, but yeah, whatever they do this every year. And I think the thing that's cool about this is every penny they get goes to this family. And so it's a family in need. This year's family happens to be from Waconia. And so you don't have to be a rider. You don't have to be a snowmobile guy or whatever. You can attend, get tickets, and go to this event. It's March 1st, 2025 at Dahlgren Golf Course. They have silent auction and online auction, silent auction, online auction, and then a live auction as well for some things. A lot of things to win. All you do is you pay the ticket to get in, and it's a fundraiser for the family. It's a good deal. Like I said, I've been to a couple of these. Pretty fun, whether you're involved or not. The food is good.
Can companies still donate stuff for auction?
Yes, I think so.
Just have them reach out to you here on our page. Just leave you a message.
Contact us here, direct message. It doesn't go on until March 1st, but the online auction, as you can see if you read the small print, it's February 13 through the 24th. So right during Valentine's Day there, they do have an online. You can go online and look. You don't have to bid. You can look. If there's something you like there, bid. If it's something you really like, you can bid it up. And then this day you can go there, get there to the event early, pick up your winnings, write a check for that. And that also goes to this family. So they've been doing this for a while, and it's taken off. They just pick one family. This group then still does their own fundraiser for the year, but they do this just for a local family in need. So
and this is on our social media pages too. So we'll see all that.
Yes, it's out there. It's good stuff. Good thing to go to. Very good chili. It's all you can eat too. You get your ticket, go through as many lines as you want. You can get the hot, the spicy, you get the cheese, the sour cream, everything on top. It's whatever you want to do. The whole bar is open besides, and it's a pretty good time.
All right.
That's all we've got, I think. Trivia answer.
Trivia answer first. Yes.
Trivia answer. East-West Shrine game ended 25-0 this year with the East winning. The Gophers had a quarterback from the West, Max Brosmer, but threw a pick six. Didn't play that good. It was part of the shutout. But the East won. They had Cam Miller, quarterback.
Yep, from the Bison.
25-0 final score. Last shutout has been how many years ago? What do you think, Andy?
I don't recall ever seeing one, Dan.
So
would I be right in saying that?
This is the 100th year there has been a couple of shutouts. The last one was 1969. Many.
That would be why I don't remember ever seeing one. I wasn't.
And even in this game, at the end, they went down to kick a field goal. Just they did not want to get shut out. They said, "Let's get something on the board," and it sailed wide. So they knew how long this record has been going, and they couldn't get a single point in an All-Star game.
All right, we got this month for February for the songs episodes. We're doing a Gone Country. We're doing 4 country groups. I will be hosting those or picking those groups and albums. So this Thursdays will be a little different. And also this week before Thursday, This last weekend, we went and saw the Folsom Prison Experience. We'll watch for the review coming up this week also.
Bonus episode. Look for that. Yes. All right. Have a good week, everyone.
See ya.